Come, gather round, everyone. They're about to talk Disney. I am still so confused as to whether I'm going to eat at Connections or Creations. So the only way I can keep them straight is I have to think, okay, well, my mouth connects to my stomach, so I guess that's Connections.
So I call Catherine to see how dinner at the restaurant is going, and she says, I can't talk to you right now. I'm talking to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, here's the big cheese. I get it. And then she says, hold on, he wants to talk to you. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm FaceTiming with Mickey as I'm getting ready for the podcast.
I don't understand why people spend hard-earned money on a Mickey ice cream sandwich in the parks. I mean, we literally all have ice cream sandwiches in our freezers at home. We don't have Mickey bars. From the mind and creator of the Disney YouTube channel Living in Diz comes a whole new Disney podcast. Okay, can we talk some serious Disney here now? Nope. Get ready for all the Disney knowledge that you can handle. It's Corey. It's Lawrence. It's the Diz Pod.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Corey, you're muted.
You know, I got to get used to this thing. I'm like doing work, like usually with the old format, it unmutes itself. I was like, don't forget, it's all ready to come right in. Welcome, everyone. This is Get Ready for This, Lawrence. It is episode 61.
Okay,
Why?
sure.
Why? Wait, what? Yeah, it's 61, isn't it?
I'll go with that. I forgot.
Yeah. I don't know. It jumped in my head this morning. I'm like, I think it's episode 61. So I'm going with that when we start the show. Welcome, everybody. We are live currently, and we do it live because we do it for you. And I say you because I'm looking at all of you in chat. And even though we don't address every single thing that you all say in there, I guarantee that Lawrence and I see just about everything, because when you see me looking over to the side here or looking down, I am looking at that scrolling chat, so keep that scrolling chat going. Quickly, we'll say hello to Allison, Purple Pleasure, Jackie Garcia, Steve Bullock, Benjamin Burton, and Sharon Hecker, Goofy Guy, to name a few, Theo, Sam Eagle, Steve and Tony. Welcome, everyone. Welcome our live group there. Lawrence, I'm back from the dead. I came through the house this tonight, and I said to Tammy, I said, last night I was on death's door. Today, I come in full of sweat from a hard workout. You can't kill me. You just can't kill me. So what's that?
You're doing better. That's good.
I think so. You know what? I don't think that I let myself have enough time off over the weekend, where Sunday was Saturday night and Sunday was kind of bad, and then went ahead and went out to Magic on Monday. I probably should have switched nights and done it like tomorrow instead, but I didn't. I did it. So yeah, you know, last night heart rate was down to like mid 50s, which, you know, it's close.
Yeah,
it's close to becoming a grim grinning Corey. So yeah, I was on the phone with a friend of mine who's a nurse practitioner, and she was kind of coaching me along and giving me advice. I'm like, this is how I'm feeling now. So I got sicker last night. And I was iffy for sure. I didn't know if I was emergency room material or not. I'm like, well, I think I'm okay to stay home, but certainly had a huge case to not stay home, but feel much better today. The biggest thing was like I had this weird metal taste in my mouth, And I guess that's an after
I drink
effect too.
out of corksicles.
It was like I was walking around with a cup of Casey's water under my tongue.
Oh man, that's not good.
Yes. Yeah. So I am always going to take drinking water seriously. Why does something have to happen for you to take things seriously, right? So hydrate, 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 everyone. I'm going Gatorade tonight
All right.
because I need to. Thinking about maybe taking some liquid IVs to the park, or taking one beforehand, or make that my first drink of the day on Saturdays is for sure. So gotta protect.
Yes.
Definitely gotta protect. It was scary. It was scary last night. I was definitely scared. So
Wow.
yeah, some serious conditions going on there. With
Yeah.
a dry throat. Do I sound different?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That-
Okay.
I think you sound
My
good.
mouth stopped being dry like mid-morning today. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Mm.
Sharon says she swears by liquid IV. So I would say this. I started to do some research on it. It does have an abundance of sugar, and people complain online that, well, it has a lot of sugar, so it's not good for you. But it's the sugar that you need,
Mm.
from what I learned recently tonight. So anyway, hydrate, everybody.
Yes.
And chat was good on Monday night. They told me to drink till I couldn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm well hydrated. There's ways to check. We'll say that, and I'm well hydrated now. And it's good that we talk about this in the open, because we're going to talk about how to eat cautiously tonight with our very special team member, right? A very special cast member. What do you call them? Cast members, not guests. A very special cast member. I first met her as Tinkerbell, unofficially.
On the flying out of the
Yeah,
couch?
she came down. I happened to be on the roof, and she happened to be coming down, and
Wow.
it was pretty cool. Yeah. Yes. Allison in chat says, Corey, mom asked, do you have water filtration at home? Because when Grandpa lived down there, he had one. If we drink a lot of bottled water, but if we drink water, we drink it from the fridge. So it has somewhat of a filter in there. So excellent. And how are you today, sir?
I am great. Look at that. You got a hello from Fairhaven, Massachusetts. Where is that in relation to where you... Do you know?
So what is the closest town to you? And is it like within 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then it would be that close.
Okay. Wow. Well, there you go.
5 minutes from where Tammy and I ran around.
Wow. There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
From there.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing good over here. We took Finley to her kindergarten assessment today. Didn't know that was a thing until we signed her up for school, and apparently they do kindergarten assessments. When we went to school, it was, when's your date of birth? Look at the calendar. Okay, you made the cutoff. You're in. But yeah, they do a kindergarten assessment. So we went there. She's very excited. It's a very big school compared to the preschool she was in. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. Work is good.
I'm sure she's well prepared.
She is. She wanted to kindergarten bound, she told Catherine yesterday. Yeah. So
Oh, I don't know how you do that.
yeah, so she made her, well, Catherine, she's made her a couple dresses for school that are school based, pencils and crayons or whatever on it. She did get her new sewing machine. The Catherine, is it Brilliant? Is that right? I think. So that arrived. Funny enough, she hasn't unpacked it. I was really thinking she was going to rip that thing open as soon as it got here, but she hasn't unpacked it yet. So
yeah, I was gonna say, do I hear the sound of right now?
No, she's watching the show. She's very involved. As you can see, she hasn't even said anything in chat, so she must just watching the show like that, I'm sure.
She's so into it.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. Baby Lock Brilliance. Yes, there it is. So So yeah, so I'm sure she'll be knocking out some new dresses for Finley for next week because she starts school on Thursday really, and then we will be in the parks Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So busy week for us for sure.
That's right. It's coming fast.
Yep. And you guys might get an extra stream out of that. Maybe that Sunday.
Fun.
I think we're gonna be
Fun.
Magic, so I think we'll probably stream that for all of you.
You know, it's funny. If it all falls into alignment, can't promise. I mean, it's all on what Tammy and Jacob pretty much want to do. But I told you, there's a slight chance we might be hanging with you all on Sunday.
Okay. All right. You just let us know. So yeah, as Corey said, we have a special cast member, as you like to. I like that. We'll call them cast members from now on. Joining us today. So Corey, why don't you tell us a little bit? You told us how you met her. But give me a little intro, and we'll bring her in.
All right, everybody. Yes, we have been friends with Ashley for, I'm bad with years, but it was the COVID year, so probably 2020. Been friends with her since 2020, and she met us walking through Frontierland, dressed to the nines like Tinkerbell. And as she said, she fangirled out and felt embarrassed later for her actions. But she loved seeing us, and we loved seeing her, and she need not feel embarrassed at all because we love that. And she looks super cute. And yeah, she should wear that again. I wonder if she'll wear that again to, the Halloween party. Which would be cool. But that was like an after hours kind of night, but it was Halloween. It was that first transition in. It wasn't quite the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. But Ashley is incredible, everybody. She eats all around Disney World, and she has plenty of allergies, and she pays attention to what you can eat and what you can't. And I thought it was great to bring her on periodically as she makes her way around and gathers new information. So welcome the best of the best at what she does, everybody. It's Ashley.
Hey.
Up, is she muted? I wasn't the only one that was muted.
Hold on.
So we're even. Hold on.
She's good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
That's awesome. So let's see. It's been a while since you've been on with us.
Yes. We were talking about that earlier, Lawrence, and I was like, I can't even remember the last time I hopped on to say hello and just update you guys on allergies.
Yeah, I think we had a plan like a while back, but it just didn't work out with our plans. So that's okay. We got you now, and since then you've had time to make your way around Disney World, and you and I ran into each other in the UK, which was fun.
Yes.
It was great to see you in person. And you had told me you had made a couple stops in certain places. So yeah, start wherever you want to. Tell the people what you've tried. I know you did 1900 Park Fair, and I think you did something else recently that I liked on Facebook, on Instagram. So have at it.
Yeah, I know that we had talked about through Instagram Saratoga and their property in terms of food allergies. I'm going to talk about quick service specifically. I was so happy with how they handled. I would like to start off with a cast compliment to Chef Nick there. Came out, and what I've noticed with Disney recently is they're not just going, okay, what are your allergies? And then kind of looking to themselves with the booklet. They are now actually showing you ingredients lists, which I love because it gives an extra level of comfort, especially to guests who have multiple allergies like myself. He came right out with this big binder and was just like, okay, what do you want? Let's start there. And just every single ingredient, reading everything, like really took his time with me. And it felt so nice because it felt like he really cared about me and my allergies. It wasn't like, all right, let's rush through the process, get this order done, and like get the money from this transaction. It was, let's take our time, let's see what our options are, and what if there's something she can't have, what can we do to replace that for her? So a perfect example was their allergy friendly chips are not safe for soy allergies. They use a shear fryer. So if you're someone who can't do cross contamination, or you have a soy and soybean oil allergy like I do, you cannot use the fryer. So he went out of his way and got me allergy friendly mac and cheese as my side for my dish. So I had this beautiful allergy friendly panini sandwich, and then instead of just getting chips, he had a whole side of mac and cheese for me. So like took that time to say, you know what? Okay, you can't have the chips. I'm not just going to throw fruit on your plate, right? Cuz that's easy. If you don't have any fruit allergies, usually that's something most places like to do cuz they know that's a safe zone for them. He took his time and went, "No, what are my other options for her?" So I'm on cloud nine, right? I'm like, wow, he's getting me mac and cheese. He's taking his time. And then all of a sudden, one of the cast members that was working the mobile order checkout comes up to me and gives me an allergy friendly pastry for free. The chef checked it backstage and said, "This is safe for her. Please go give it to her." And I was with my twin sister, and they gave her a regular cupcake. And that in itself was just one of those Disney magic moments where you're like, wow, they really care. Like they want to make your stay magical, right? Whether you're staying, you're visiting just as a day guest. It was beautiful. I was so thankful. So shout out to Chef Nick at Saratoga at the Artist Palette because he really went above and beyond for me.
Really did. I always get the chills when you're on. Like that's a story that gives you the chills a little bit, you know? That's just really,
Yeah.
really cool. That's the magic. We love when that stuff happens. For sure.
Yeah. I'm so thankful. I think the biggest thing with cast members is just show them that you respect them and that you're thankful for them because at the end of the day they're humans just like us working a job and trying to provide. So if you show them you have respect for them, they will respect you back and they will take their time. And I might be biased, but I every time I have an allergy experience I get extremely lucky. I actually was at Hollywood Studios today. I went to Roundup Barbecue. I have family in town, and again the chef took his time with me, like binder, every single ingredients. And then again, at the end of the lunch, I couldn't have any of the desserts, which usually is not a shocker. I think we've talked about this. They're like, here's a free snack voucher for you. So I
Wow.
could go out into the park and go get like a strawberry ice cream bar or something else like popcorn from one of their quick services because I couldn't eat anything there. Did they have to do that? No, but they wanted to.
That's nice too. Boy, that's great. But you think, you hear that like people have allergies, so it still amazes me still though that they don't have an option, right? Uh,
Right.
and we know gluten is a big option. I know it is because I travel with Alyssa and Neil, and Alyssa has that allergy, and there's just so many places still that she just can't eat at because I just think that's something that should be universal at this point on all restaurants, on property and off.
I absolutely agree with you. I will say, too, interesting enough now that you say that, when I was speaking to the chef at Saratoga, he actually said that their highest consult for allergies in the past couple months has been gluten and soy. And that because of that, Disney actually keeps track of what is consistently getting requested, and they're now trying to get even more soy-free options for guests because that's something that they're noticing is a big pattern. I will say this, this is really good news for anyone who has an egg allergy. Disney just recently switched their bread. They used to use a company called Udi's for their gluten-free, allergy-friendly sandwiches. Unfortunately, that contained egg. So if you're someone who has a gluten and egg allergy or a peanut and egg allergy, if you wanted a sandwich, you are out of options because that egg was in that bread, of course. But there's a brand called Bloomsfield and Disney found out about it. It's top 8 allergen free. So, dairy, milk, gluten, soy, that top 8. and they're now using that. So if you are someone or someone in your party has an egg allergy, make sure when you go in for a consult to talk about that brand. It should be all over property. However, Disney can be funky. There can be some companies that just use Udi still. Maybe they're transitioning, but Saratoga is using this new bread. So if you do have an egg allergy, that is really exciting news.
That's awesome.
Do you
Hmm.
think, I'm assuming then, folks with allergies have to be ultra careful. So even though you may see it at Saratoga, if you were to go to, say, Port Orleans, you still want to double check everything because, like you said, they could still be using Udi's instead of Bloomsfield, right?
Absolutely. My biggest piece of advice to anyone that contacts me is triple check everything. Do not go off the app. I mean, even if you go on the My Disney experience in itself, when you go to the allergy panel on the app to mobile order, there's a huge paragraph of just saying, like, cross contamination can be a risk. Like, please go to a cast member that will assist you. So, I personally, depending on the severity of the allergies, would just say bypass the app, go right to the cast member, speak to the chef, like go head on head with someone because they really will make you feel comfortable, and they'll go about asking about cross contamination. That's a big one with Disney. That's usually one of the first things they'll ask is cross contamination an issue? Some people will say I'm fine with cross contamination, some people will not be fine. I am not fine with cross contamination. So I have to say no. So then that means, say you want to get gluten-free chicken nuggets, right? But they're using a shared fryer. There's cross contamination. That's not safe for you anymore. So that no longer becomes an option for you in terms of food. So always talk to a cast member.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I
let me think. I
well,
didn't have anything at the moment. I was giving you a chance. So, Ashley's talked about two great experiences there. What else have you done since we left
1900
off?
Park Fair is great, but it's expensive. So I like to preface that really quick. It is a great option, but very expensive. In terms of allergies, I'm going to be totally transparent. It really depends on what you're allergic to in terms of if I'm going to recommend breakfast or if I'm going to recommend dinner, because breakfast we're not going to see as many dairy free options, whereas dinner you're going to probably see some more dairy free options. Just because, right, let's think about breakfast. What are we using for breakfast? Right, we're going to be more dairy based in breakfast foods than we are dinner, right? Because it's two different menus. However, if you're gluten, say you're just gluten, that's your only concern, then I'll say to you, hey, breakfast and dinner, try both. But again, it really depends on allergies where it comes in and what I'm going to recommend and not recommend. But if you had said to me, what's your favorite allergy friendly character breakfast, I would say Garden Grill. I am a Garden Grill girl to a T. I think they go so above and beyond there. They have excellent, if you can have them, and some people may be familiar with this brand again, they use Udi's, which has an allergy friendly pastry line. So they have muffins that they'll bring out. Don't believe they're safe for egg allergies, but I believe like gluten, soy, I want to say peanut. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. Like there, wow, I love it there.
hmm. What about what's your favorite dinner?
Oh, okay. Well, so I am getting married at the Four Seasons, right? And I actually went there for dinner last night, and I went to Ravello. They're amazing there. Now, again, it's pricey. I like it's Four Seasons, right? So it's going to be expensive. But they literally can take things and just from scratch. They're one of those restaurants, like nothing's pre-made, everything is cooked right in front of you, like in that timing, nothing is pre-selected. So what I love about that is if there's something in it you can't have, they'll modify it and take it out for you. Now there are, which you both probably know, there are some Disney restaurants that do things, like family style skillet that are pre-made. So those options for allergies are a little bit more difficult. So, if you're looking for fine dining, I would say Ravello, either for breakfast. They have a character dining. If you guys have not been, it's amazing. It is with Goofy, Minnie, and Mickey, and it's on certain days of the week. I believe it runs Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, if I'm correct. Excellent with allergies there. I mean, you can be gluten free, dairy free. Chef comes out, does a full consult, and they will not let you go up to the buffet there with an allergy. That is a big thing with Four Seasons. Every time I have been there for breakfast, they do not let me get up. They're like, no, you stay, sit, relax. Like, we're going to cook everything separate in the back and bring it to you, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Because, again, some people with allergies don't feel comfortable with the buffets. Again, cross contamination becomes a risk. Some people are not comfortable with that. So they're amazing there. If you have not been, I recommend that one in a heartbeat. The characters are also spectacular. They're in little cute golf attire, and photo passes included with Goofy, which is really fun.
Oh, this is news to me.
Yeah. Who would have thought there was character dining available outside?
Hmm.
Wow.
Wow. Where
Has
is that
it
exactly?
been
Call me
new or
crazy.
has it been that way for a while?
It has been that way actually for a while. So it's called Ravello's Goofy and Pals Breakfast. So if you want to make a reservation, this is just for anyone, even if you don't have allergies, you're going to do it through Open Table.
Okay.
Because it is like highly sought after breakfast, you do have to put a credit card down to book, and that's just to hold the reservation. And if you don't show up, but in itself, Four Seasons is actually in Golden Oak. So when you get onto property, you actually have to go up to security, and they actually take your ID and scan it. They're very strict about security measures there, and then it's about a mile into property
Hmm.
where the hotel is, but it's beautiful. And they what is it, they do like the car, like they write off the car, so you don't have to pay for parking, which is nice when you go for breakfast. But it's really good, views are beautiful, and again, allergies in itself, excellent there. I think just Four Seasons holds to, like Disney, a very high standard of making sure they're including everyone.
Wow.
Neil says him and Alyssa have been there. Neil, did you go for breakfast or lunch or dinner?
Disney Dina in chat says Sci-Fi has dairy-free milkshakes. The servers aren't allowed to touch them. The chef had to bring them out to our table.
Wow. So that is something I wanted to touch on as well. I'm noticing Disney has been more on top of, if it's an allergy, they're not letting anyone bring out the food anymore. I can give an example actually at Trattoria El Forno. When the chef came out to work with me, she was like, "You're going to see me the whole dinner. Like, I'm going to bring out
Hmm.
your appetizer, I'm going to bring out your entree." So I don't know if this is just a new standard of training that they're doing to ensure that the food is checked by the chef prior to it leaving the kitchen. But again, another layer of feeling comfortable because you're actually seeing the person that is working on your food. If some people don't know this, whoever comes to your table and does your chef consultation with you for your food allergies restrictions, they are the ones actually preparing your food. They're not just going up and doing a consultation and giving it to another chef. They are the ones overseeing your food from start to finish.
So great.
Hmm.
That's
That
a
is
different
so great.
level of service than you're going to see in a typical restaurant here or something like that. And it's good to see them
Yeah,
taking that extra level.
I wish, Disney, it's hard living so close to Disney because Disney holds such a high standard for food allergies. But when you go outside of Disney, it becomes extremely difficult to eat out, which is crazy because Disney's so inclusive, right? So I can go and sit back and relax and have a nice dinner with my family. But if I were to go to Celebration Kissimmee, I don't have that luxury. That immediate anxiety kicks in of, am I
Hmm.
going to be okay? Am I going to have a reaction? Is my stomach going to hurt? So it's crazy how close you can be to somewhere, and then the world's become completely different once you leave that Disney bubble.
So I don't know if you go eat at some chain restaurants outside of Disney, but if you have, what is that experience like? I mean, I'm sure the chef doesn't come out and talk with you, so you're all reliant on the waiter or the waitress.
Yeah, so I will give an example. And Corey, I don't know if you've ever been, because I know they're kind of scattered throughout Florida, but Mellow Mushroom, have you ever heard of that? It's a pizza place.
I've heard of it. I never ate there, but I have one like maybe 15 minutes from my house.
Okay, so they're excellent with food allergies. That one,
Okay.
they are a chain, and I will pat them on the back because every experience that I have had has been excellent. I will say they do not do a chef consultation. So, like you said, you are solely trusting your server to communicate to the staff in the kitchen, at table, whatever. I have allergies of X, Y, and Z, no cross contamination. This is what they ordered. And then you essentially just have to trust that this person is relying all this information to. And that's not always the case. I had one hiccup there where I had one server say, "Hey, you're okay for the buffalo chicken." And then I had a manager run up to me and go, "You're not okay for the buffalo chicken. It contains soy." So it was like an immediate like flip around. This is not safe for you. And they ended up comping my pizza, which I felt bad about. I listen, I would rather you take an extra 30 minutes to make my dinner than bring me something I can't eat and then I have a reaction at the restaurant.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Melanie says, I don't remember a chef coming to during our meals when we went in March because we did the Disney dining plan. I don't remember that either. At that point, it was just the server that asked us, "Do you have any allergies?" And she would double check and make sure that everything was clear. But no, we didn't see a chef, so I'm glad to see that in a lot of the places that you're talking about.
Okay, and where did you eat where you didn't have a chef consult?
So Melanie will have to remind me, or Catherine. I know we did Le Cellier, uh,
Okay.
and we did Mama Melrose for our sit down meals.
Okay, so I will tell you about Epcot, and this is good for everyone to know. Epcot in the World Showcase, a lot of those restaurants are owned by third party. So third party restaurants do not, unfortunately, we're going to be honest, are not trained to the Disney standard in terms of allergy training. So I could totally see why at Le
Hmm.
Cellier you did not receive a chef
Hmm.
because it's third party. Now, that doesn't mean there shouldn't be a chef there. There absolutely should be. I think if you were to say, "Hey, can I have a chef consultation?" that they would bring someone out. But once you said Epcot, unless it's Garden Grill or like Coral Reef, owned by Disney, I don't think you're going to see, which is unfortunate. I don't think you're going to see that level of training that Disney has.
That's good to know. And as soon as you,
Yes.
I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
But
That's why we
it's
bring her
tricky.
on.
if you're in, Disney, you should kind of run that Disney standard.
Right.
But I get why.
And that's what you would think. And it's unfortunate because, say you want to take your kids to Italy and say someone has a gluten allergy, they're not going to go to that extent, unfortunately. And that's just speaking from my experience. I mean, I could go back and come back on and be like, whoa, totally take that back. They stepped their game up. But
Right.
I'm pretty consistent on doing education within the parks. And I will notice third party is like here and Disney is like way up here in
Yeah.
terms of just how they handle things. I mean, last time I saw Corey, I had mentioned to him I had went to the Boardwalk Creamery. They are phenomenal with allergies there. I mean, you could have a dairy allergy and they've got dairy-free ice cream in the back, separate section, not touching dairy, that a coordinator will go back in and oversee to make sure you are safe. And they actually have a piece of paper. You can ask for it right when you walk in, and it will say top 8 allergens, and it will say safe for gluten, not safe for this. And you can even go off of that if you would like to.
Wow. Yeah, there's so many allergies out there. I'm very fortunate to not have any, but plenty of friends that do have allergies, and it could run the whole spectrum. And like you said, that cross contamination, some people can deal with it, and others can't. And I'm sure more people would just say no cross contamination because then it's just easier to not have to worry about what level of contamination you have. But definitely glad to see, what Disney is doing. And like Neil said, it could be because of the recent events with Raglan Road that they're much more heightened. Sad, excuse me, sad that that has to be the event that kind of makes everybody more aware. But I am
Right.
glad to see that they are doing that to that level.
And it's
Goes along.
heartbreaking.
Okay, go ahead.
No, no,
Go
I was
ahead.
just saying it's heartbreaking, the whole thing that happened, but I agree with Lawrence. I mean, it shouldn't have to get to that point for anyone to go, oh, okay, we need to. My biggest thing is perspective on everything. Always think of your friend, whomever, as your loved one and what could happen to them, right? And for allergies, for some people, it's anaphylactic. It's going to happen in a second and they're gone. So you have to put a lot of trust into that person that's handling your food, where some people are just not comfortable. And Lawrence and I were talking prior to the stream about, Halloween versus Christmas parties in terms of allergies, which is something I also wanted to touch on. I personally think if you're going to spend the money on a ticket and you have in that top 8 allergen, I would go Halloween, because all of that is pre assortment of offerings and nothing has a risk of cross contamination unless the facility itself that the company uses has cross contamination. But most of these brands are very well known in the allergy community. One example would be Enjoy Life. They're very blanket statement, top 8 allergen free, safe for schools. Whereas now, if you're going to the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, you're not getting as many options as you would Mickey's Not So Scary. And this year I actually saw, which I'm really excited about. I don't know if I'm allergic to it, but they're actually offering granola for allergy guests this year. It's like a birthday cake granola. It's very random,
Oh,
but it's nice to see that they're adding more things for those guests. Like last year it was some like rice milk chocolate bars, another brand was Yum Earth, and one of my friends went and she has celiac and she posted and sent it to me. She's like, they're giving out granola this year. I was like, sounds good to me. I'm excited to see if I can have it. So it's nice to see they're continuously adding as well.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Disney cares. Disney cares. That's good. They're moving in the right direction there. So, yeah, Greg, USC Greg says so. Third-party restaurants don't have to follow Disney policies and procedures, which is interesting. Um,
but
but
I
yeah,
think you were more referring to not the not the policies, but more so how they handle it. So it's not like
Correct.
they're not doing what they need to do. Just Disney is handling it in a totally different way. I mean, to have the chef be the one bringing you the food so that there's no chance of cross contamination is huge in my book, and that's certainly not what you're going to see in most restaurants.
Correct.
hmm
Yeah, no, definitely agreeing with you on that. They're still held to a Disney standard, of course, but when you're third party, obviously there's differences in terms of just how you're going to run that said restaurant, depending on what Disney is regulating. So, allergy wise, if someone said, hey, I want to eat at Epcot, I'm going to immediately say, hey, Garden Grill, depending on what their allergies are. Again, it's owned by Disney. It's very farm to table there. I know, Corey, you've been there for dinner. The menu's pretty easy to move around in terms of things or substitute if need be as well.
Yeah, I love Garden Grill. Garden Grill also does breakfast. I haven't done breakfast there, but that would fall into what you said before, right? Pretty much dinner is always a better option than breakfast, probably anywhere.
Oh, I love the breakfast there better than dinner, believe it or
Oh,
not. Yeah.
what is it like? What is it like? What do they have?
So for allergies, it's going to be your allergy friendly Mickey waffles. You're going to get an allergy friendly muffin. Now, granted, if you're, I have gluten and soy, that's my top two. So if you're different, this may differentiate depending on what your allergies are. So I like to preface, I'm just speaking from my experience. So mine is allergy friendly Mickey waffles, allergy friendly muffin, and then they bring out bacon and then they bring out potatoes. Now, I will preface this. So they have two different types of potatoes there for allergies. They have a cheesy potato, almost like hash, and then they have cubed potatoes. So if say you're someone with an allergy, a dairy allergy, they do have another potato option for you, which is great. and then watermelon, and I believe that's it if I'm going off the top of. Oh, and steak. I apologize. And steak. There's like a steak with a sauce. I don't know the sauce off the top of my head, but really great, super filling. I love the characters, obviously. Chip and Dale are there, so that's a no-brainer for me. Going to see
Oh,
them.
of course. Purple Pleasure says, "Are you allowed to bring your own food and snacks because of your allergies to eat at the restaurant with your family?"
So I personally have never gone and sat down and eaten my own food. However, with severity of anyone's allergies, I don't think Disney can say, "Hey, you can't do that." Because say you're anaphylactic and you have a severe dairy allergy, right? We'll just throw that out there. Disney can't say anything, especially if you have other people in your party that are sitting down and are paying customers. I don't think it would be an issue. I personally just do my research, and I'm very thankful for my family that when they come in, they are willing to kind of modify their dining to make sure that I am included to eat with them. But I do know that for some instances, there are families that don't have that luxury. So I think, and again, I'm not speaking for the brand or the company, but do I think you could go in and sit with your family and eat something separate and not have an issue? Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because when we first started coming to Disney, we packed a full lunch or dinner, and we would sit at like Pinocchio House and just eat. We'd
Hmm.
find a spot. We'd find a spot that we could sit, a quick serve, and no one ever told us we couldn't do that. So I would agree with that. I don't think Disney would really mind. I'm surprised that they allow you to bring, public subs in and drinks and things like that because they don't have to. So always had been thankful in the past when they would allow us to do that. Benjamin says, "What have you been doing? Oh, wait. Well, what have you been doing over since last time we talked at the Diz Pod?" Hmm. Wants to know what you've been up to lately.
Me
Hmm.
or you guys?
You,
Oh, you.
you.
Me? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Well, life has been excellent. My family is in the process of moving, so I'm very excited to have them join the Florida family. I'm spending a lot of time with my family. I'm very proud of my sister. My sister is doing amazing things. She's actually in school to become an ASL interpreter, which is brilliant. She wants to become an advocate for the deaf community. And we actually got to see ASL interpreters at Disney. And let me tell you, I was so choked up. They are so beautifully talented in telling a story without using their words. Just in awe. We got to see the Nemo show.
Yeah.
We got to see Mickey's, what is it called? It's not Friendship Fair anymore, right? It's called something else. Mickey's
Oh,
Magical something. The
I
stage
think
show.
fair.
yeah. I didn't know they changed the title.
Yeah, I think it's still
I
fair.
didn't either. And one of my friends works for entertainment and she's like, "No, it's called this now." And I was like, "Have I been living under a rock? I did not know we changed the name." But apparently it's
Yeah.
changed. So we got to
Okay.
see the stage show and the parade and just it almost inspires me to be also an advocate for this community as well because just you don't realize what you have until you don't have it. So for everyone watching the live stream, be thankful for what you have, your loved ones, your family, because you don't know how hard it is until something gets taken away from you, whether it's your hearing or food allergies or any of those things. So, Corey and Lawrence, I'm very thankful for you both for having me on and letting me be an advocate for food allergies. And to everyone watching, know that you're loved and appreciated and you are valued as a person. And we are so happy for you all that you are happy and healthy. And Corey, I'm glad that you are getting better. That's scary that you were not feeling well. So, everyone continue to just be the amazing person that you are and remember that little pixie dust is always inside of you, whether you're at the parks or you're not. You have a greater purpose, and that's why you're here.
That is awesome. With that said, we might have to thank you for being on because how can you top that?
Right, exactly.
You, right? That's a great outro, Ashley. We hate to see you
Sure.
go, but
You.
have you said it all? Do you think you've said
I
it all?
have. I have said it all. I'm just so thankful to be here, and I know my family's watching. So, hello, family. My Nana was so cute. She got to watch the playback, and she's like, "You speak so well. You speak so well." And I was like, I get that all from my father. I just want to give my father a shout out. He's a public speaker and he is one of those people. He just knows how to
Yep.
pull you in. So I definitely got that from my dad. Love you, mom. Mom's good too, but dad is definitely the one that I got the public speaking from, and just being able to be comfortable about advocating or just speaking about something. So
You,
thank you again for
you,
having me. I'm so happy I got to be on tonight. I hope I gave some people some education, and I know that my Instagram is in your bio. If anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to message me. I'm always willing to help, even if it's not something that I am comfortable or educated in. I will go to the parks and get some education for you because I want people to have an excellent trip. I'm very fortunate to live so close and have great experiences, and I want that for other people as well.
it's amazing that you make your way around Disney as much as you do, and all the places you hit and eat, and it allows you to share more and more. So um, we'll have to have her on sooner, much sooner than later this time, because Food and Wine starts next week. I'll be there to
Yes.
cover it. So it'll be great to have an episode with you on where you can talk about the kind of offerings they have there, because I really don't know. And I mean, there's so many food booths. I think
Yeah.
there's like 51 or 52 this year.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually wanted
so,
to touch on that really quick, if that's okay. So
oh,
last
as long
year,
as
the
you want.
last festival I know we had spoken about, and I think Lawrence brought up like a screen about kind of how you can navigate the food allergy menu. They did do it a little bit different this year. So normally you could go on the My Disney Experience app and just search in the little icon, and it would be food allergy options. They're not doing that right now. So what you will have to do is you will just type in food and wine, click on menu, and then you'll click on Mexico, Canada, whatever the booth is you want to click on. And then you're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom, and then there will be the allergy options. So that is how they're doing it for food and wine. Some locations, based off of my research, will not have an allergy menu online. So you will have to go up and speak to a cast member. So not all the allergy menus are online. So I just want to preface that to anyone that is going next week that may have a gluten allergy and wants to eat, like I said, at Mexico. Mexico is actually one of the examples of where you actually have to go and speak to someone about an allergy consult because there's not a menu available online.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so maybe in a couple months, Food and Wine runs until what? November?
November,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so maybe September, October, somewhere in there, we'll have you back on to talk about your
Yeah.
favorite foods and what you can find in Food and Wine.
Yeah, I'm going to Mickey's Not So Scary October 1st. So I'll also get some content for you there as well. Kind of, like I said, see if that new granola is good and what it's safe for. And yeah, we'll report back and let you guys know what's going on.
Love it.
That sounds awesome. We're lucky to have you, my dear. And come hang out with us for a live stream, even if it's for a couple hours or something on a Saturday or something. Come hang out
Oh,
with us.
yes, I would love to. Thank you both for having me again. I'm very honored that you guys asked me to come back on. It's great. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for
You're
coming
part of
on.
the team.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
All right. She's amazing,
Yeah.
well spoken,
Yep.
and Lawrence. I mean, the only way you could get somebody on that is as good as that with that much information, and she just flows along, and she's not looking at notes. She remembers chefs' names.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you got a Disney cast member themselves,
Yeah.
and so we're lucky to have her. So
Hey,
hope you all learned some things there. I learned some things.
let's get a chef on the show. How about that?
That would be great, right?
But no, that is great information, and there's she brought up one point that stuck with me is the anxiety of trying to go out for a family dinner somewhere, even local where you live, trying to go out and have a family dinner, and you have certain allergies or a couple allergies, but you still want to have a good time and enjoy the dinner and the family time, and it must be frustrating to have to wonder, am I going to be able to eat? Is there going to be enough? Is it going to be worth it? Is it going to, satisfy me, and food is very satisfying, right? So is it going to satisfy me? So I could just imagine what my friends with allergies have to go through. So it's good to see that someplace like Disney is doing as much as they can to heighten your enjoyment and help you through the allergies.
Absolutely.
So so I want to say hello to Zach, who's in chat as Your Royal Highness. So Zach was the host of the many events at NC Disneyana this past weekend. And if you saw the live stream from there, we did a couple hours from there. It was in, excuse me, Greensboro, North Carolina. Catherine, Finley, and my mom and I went. Had a phenomenal time out there. Thank you very much to Elizabeth for allowing us to come and live stream that. Those of you that are in chat, let us know what you liked about the event. I think it was great that we went live there. Excuse me, there was so much, obviously, pin trading, right? NC Disneyana started as a pin trading event, and it has grown into so much more. It's a nice weekend. It was the first time that my mom went, because Catherine and I went last year, and we took some pictures for all of you. But this time we decided to live stream it. Mom absolutely loved it. Thought it was a great time. We did the trivia. All of us did the trivia. They used Kahoot, and Zach hosted. And I came in second place. No, I didn't.
What?
I was terrible.
I was gonna give you a hard time for getting worse.
No,
Who beat you?
Elizabeth warned me that it was tough, and I was like, yeah, but I'm on the Diz Pod. I'm good. No, I was not good, but we had a great time. It was so much fun. The sing along was happening while we were there, and then there were a couple other events that we didn't live stream. There was like a princess parade where all the princesses paraded around. It's a 2-day event, and I believe that the trivia was different on the second day than it was on the first. So if you were there for the 2 days, you could have participated and probably won. And the grand prize for winning is actually right over my shoulder right there. They gave away the Mickey statue that you get at D23 as
Oh
the
wow.
prize. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So yeah, we had a great time. Didn't buy any merch. Catherine can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we bought any merch, but they did do some pin trading. So they randomly, for a lot of the little kids, will give out some starter pins. And so Finley was lucky enough to be chosen for that. And they gave, they went and traded up some of the pins. So she came home with some new pins. But we had a great time. If you're in the North Carolina area, join their Facebook group. It's NC Disneyana, ANA at the end of Disney. They are a phenomenal group of people. The vendors that are there are wonderful. Obviously, all Disney lovers. And this coming year, they're still making the final plans for it. Looks like it may be in October of next year, which might be pretty cool. Literally, rather than in August. It's still pretty warm here in August. And they haven't set a location for it yet, but be sure to look for that because it's a great event. It was so much fun. We thought about doing the 2 days, but just decided to do the one. But it was fun. And as Mom said, I thought it was funny because I went to go check in. And Elizabeth was like, no, you're press. You don't have to check in. I was like, oh, I'm the press now.
Nice. So you got the press credentials that I sent down.
Yeah, I had to wear the hat with the little press flag in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
A lanyard.
Yeah, and a lanyard. But no, it was a lot of fun. and a really, really great event. Elizabeth and Zach and all the volunteers do a great job out there. So thank you for allowing us to bring that to our viewers for sure. We absolutely loved it.
It was nice. Of course, I'm going to go on and keep it on and watch and see what's going on. It's our channel, and want to support you while you're out there doing it and interact with our people. And I'm always so thankful when they come on. But I found myself pulled into it quite quickly with the merch. Lots of.
Was it the mugs?
It was the mugs. The mugs did it. That was it. Didn't care about anything else. Limited edition pop figures and things like that. I didn't care about that. But yeah, lots of cool things to just look at. So I could spend a while table to table over there.
Yes.
And seeing what they have.
Neil had said in chat that day it would have been hard to come home without bags full of stuff. And I mean the rare collections that, like you said, it was just stuff that you wouldn't have thought of, and there were also a good variety, right? So obviously a lot of pins to sell. There were pins up, rare pins up to the 200 and 275 range. I think I saw there was a lot of art that you would not normally see outside of, say, the Festival of the Arts. There's so much to see, and there was like something for everyone. There was plenty of games. They even had a game table of just Disney-based board games. There's a Disney version of Apples to Apples and a Disney Monopoly. And if the kids wanted to just sit and play, they could just sit and play while, you were pin trading and all that type of stuff. So really, really cool event. They had some food trucks this year, which was really, really nice. So we had some food. That was our lunch, was the food trucks. And then they had this one vendor.
Why didn't you do a food review?
I know. I should have done a food review.
Very Diz-like,
Yes. They had this one vendor. Maybe Zach can tell us quickly who it was. Oh, I found it. So it's called Shrunked Booth. They're out of Raleigh, and they make 3D figures right there on the spot. So say, Catherine and I, or you and I, could have done a back-to-back pose like we did for the promo, and they would have made a 3D figure of that.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. So they had some of their stuff there, some of their samples that they had made. That was really, really fun to see there. So
that sounds really cool to do. I would have done that.
Yeah.
I would have done that. That would have been cool to have on our desk, right?
Yeah. But Catherine, Shrunk 3D. Okay, I thought from the truck it looked like it might have been shrunked. So Shrunk 3D, which makes a lot more sense than Shrunked. But Catherine did come in second in the trivia, so she actually did beat me. She might have gotten a couple answers from me, but that's okay. But it's fun. You know who would have done well at that? Neil. Neil would have done very well at the trivia. Yep.
Trouble is, he'll go into a 5-minute story before he gets to the answer, so he may not end up doing well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of knowledge. Well, he's been going to Disney a lot longer than we have. So combined, I think you and I combined still don't come close to Neil, especially now.
Oh, especially now, he's dominating it. He's there every day.
Oh yeah, love it.
That's my goal. Mm-hmm. It's kind of my goal for my retirement. Just to live the Neil life, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check that out. And Zach, who is in chat, I have asked him to come on the show, so we're going to be booking him on the show in the next couple months to come on and just chat. He actually used to host a podcast, and he is a former member of the college program down in Disney.
Nice.
So yeah, he's going to come on and chat with us a little bit about that and tell us about his experience. So it was certainly worth it. Got a great event. Got to cover a great event, and we got a a new guest to come on. So very excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there was a lot of news last week, and I thought we would cover a little bit of it.
All right. Breaking news brought to you by Dr. Disney.
Yes. So there was quite a bit. I'm just looking for my slides here. Sorry. The first thing though was there was new merch out in Kohl's of all places. Had a ton of new merch, and I thought that was pretty cool. If I can find it, where'd it go?
Sometimes people will walk, you walk into the parks and you see a really cool shirt, and I know my merch, so I know if something wasn't bought in Disney. And I'll go, ooh, that's nice. Where'd you get it? And it's never like, oh, on property.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, I find I in fact, when I heard about that, I told Catherine, "Oh, we got to go out there because I need to take a look at that." Okay, maybe I don't have it loaded.
Maybe not.
All right, I tell you what. Let's do This Week in the Parks while I try and find that.
All right. All right, so this week in the parks. So we did back-to-back Magic Kingdoms, and we don't normally do that, but we did back-to-back Magic Kingdoms, and Saturday was a lot of fun. Beautiful weather. It really hasn't rained much in Florida in the last, I'm going to say, about 7 days, and everyone's grass is dying. So the last 3 visits, not counting Monday, to Magic Kingdom, I actually got group 1, and then group 2, and then group 3. 4 Tianas, and third time was a charm. It was a charm because finally I was able to get on for the first time after annual pass previews, and Tammy and Jacob were able to ride it for the first time ever as well, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They thought it was great. They thought it was a lot of fun, and of course Lewis seems to be the most popular character that people are loving. They loved Lewis as well, and there's a point in the ride with a lot of good bass, and I feel like it's when you first enter the would it technically be after? It's when you first enter inside where it's dark, I think. I can't remember. Or the second time. But Lewis is dancing, and it's got a really great bass line and a lot of fun. And we sat in the very back. We put Neil in the second row, I think. And boy, that water rushed over. I sat in the back, and you see the water come up. If we're going slow motion, it comes up. And then you see it go over the people in the front row. Then it reaches the people in the second row. And then the third, your eyes get this big if you're in the fourth. But then it just dies down. And it barely hits you in the fourth. And you get to laugh at everybody. So, I mean, I don't mind going in the front, but I did get so wet, and the gimbal got so wet, that I feel like if I'm going to choose the front row live ever again, let me bring an alternate gimbal. An older one. If it gets wet and doesn't function anymore, then oh well.
Mhm.
But don't want to take the newest functional gimbal for that trek. And I'd like to do a 4K rendition of it, but until I have a waterproof case for the Osmo, we won't be doing that. And we ate at Pecos again. Pecos is a staple for me right now. It's the best quick serve. We should probably ask Ashley about Pecos. It's onions rice, chicken, beans. So I'm not sure if that's any good. Maybe the beans are no. Well, I don't know. Alyssa would know because Alyssa Alyssa and Neil got that meal on Saturday, actually. So I don't know if they had everything that I had in there. But yeah, it's good. So am I missing anything on Saturdays? Listen, Saturdays was nuts. So we know how to play the parks. We know how to maximize your ride times, when to skip, when to go on. And normally when the fireworks are over, half the park leaves. We know it's a very short wait for Pirates, Haunted Mansion. Those are things that sometimes we save. Maybe you can get on Mine Train. Actually, 9 times out of 10, you can get on Mine Train while Happily Ever After is going on. And we did make the choice to skip the fireworks, but actually, to be honest, we did skip them, didn't we? I think we did.
Yes.
But yeah. And I think it was for Peter Pan. I think we took a chance on Peter Pan. But we wanted to do Mine Train, and Mine Train was full. It was a legit 45-minute long wait. And right up to the end, we couldn't go back to certain rides that we thought, okay, it has to have let up by now. It didn't. So something was in the air on Saturdays where there were just a lot of people there that night. So they didn't really clear out. When you go over to Mondays, we did Magic Kingdom again. I ate a massive hot dog. Now listen, they're all a foot long, but this had a meal and a half on top of it. It was crazy. I keep meaning to post it in our shorts. I got to post that. But it had it had cheese that looked like feta, like crumbled blue cheese maybe or something. And it had, surprisingly enough, it had pulled pork under that mess.
Yeah.
Along with street corn and some queso season or dip. It was great. It was a 5 out of 5 for sure. Absolutely loved it. You can't pick it up and eat it. You got to eat it with a fork. Right down to the last bite. So it was really good. It was a full moon. I showed the full moon quite often. And things were happening during the live stream where we're like, okay, it's a full moon. Corey's full. That's a full moon. There was something else that we joked about being a full moon, just weird things. But what a difference 48 hours makes, because we were able to play those Magic Kingdom cards like we're normally used to doing, where everything was down to like a 5 to 10 minute wait. We could literally have done just about everything we wanted to do, except for Mine Train. Mine Train, man. Lately, Mine Train has been pretty full. Fuller than normal. So unless I missed anything else in terms of, so I went to Starbucks and I tried to get, so we're coming off the night before the annual pass holder night over at Universal Studios,
right?
And they made a wonderful drink for the pass holders. I wish they would do a pass holder drink on Main Street. That would be so cool. And this drink, if anybody hasn't seen the vlog from yesterday, or if you did, you saw the drink, that drink was amazing. It was really good. Really, really good. So they were nice enough to try to make it for me there. They came close. They probably hit it about an 8 out of 10. It was just missing something. If Jill was there, she probably would have remembered what it was. But yeah, that's inside the parks, unless you have anything else to add from it.
Well, reminded us about the lights out in Fantasyland.
Yes. So the lights go out. We're walking through the area where you have Mine Train and you have the Story Time with Belle, and you're heading up towards Gaston's, and to your right would be Little Mermaid, and it was super dark. So I started talking like, okay, it's amazing how Fort Wilderness is so close to Little Mermaid, because it looked like we were out in Fort Wilderness because of the trees and everything. But we went over to Little Mermaid. It had been shut down, and the ride was fine, but they just didn't want people coming through and boarding in the dark. So, interestingly enough, it's not that much lighter when the lights are on.
No.
But still, nevertheless, I've always made comments that it needs to be brighter. I don't understand why it's not. But so we came around the corner, and we were heading towards People Mover and all that, Tomorrowland Speedway, and the lights came on. So I can't remember. We were going to go back, but the line was too long, so we ended up on Tomorrowland Speedway. Right. So we did that and People Mover, lots of fun, another great night, and that's inside the parks. Yeah.
Nice. And let me see. Let me bring this up. So this I found, which was kind of interesting. It's the top rides rated by TEA and AECOM, AECOM, Global Attraction Attendance Report. No surprise that Magic is on the top. That is, if anybody ever follows any of that, you know that that is the case all the time. But I want to see, are there any surprises to you, like in the top 5? So top 5, you have Magic, then Disneyland, then Epcot, then Hollywood Studios, and then Islands of Adventure.
I think that falls right in line.
Okay.
Where, I mean, as far as the top 5, yeah, I would probably agree with that completely. Wow, but not number 5 though. Over Universal Studios Florida. I would think that would be the more favorite of
Yeah.
the two.
Yeah.
So that tells me one thing, that Velocicoaster and Hagrid's have to be the bigger draw
the draw.
to get people over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So I would say that for sure. And then my other question about this is, who suffers most when Epic opens, and where on this list does Epic fall for its first full year? We're not going to count 2025, but in 2026, where does Epic fall?
I think that it definitely makes the top 5. I feel like it would tuck itself in. I'm debating between 3 and 4 or 2 and 3. I'm gonna say that Epcot still beats it.
And chat, you can
Say
answer as well. Put in where you think Epic will rank in its first full year in 2026.
I'm gonna say above Hollywood Studios and below Epcot, 3 and 4. Well, I mean, it wouldn't fit between it, right? So yeah, it would drive Hollywood Studios down to 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Epic sits at 4.
Okay.
What do you think? I just don't think you can't beat Magic Kingdom in Disneyland Park. You can't. And with all the festivals and everything, I feel like Epcot would edge it out.
That's where I'm hung up. I think it's going to end up beating Epcot. Yes, it does have a lot of festivals, and it is, really, come that year, probably the only park that doesn't have walls in it. Although, hey, we could hear some announcement next year and there's walls up in Epcot again. But so I think it's going to do well, but I think Epic, with as big as it is, I think it's going to beat Epcot. Yeah. So
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And I think all the parks on this list that are in Orlando are actually going to benefit from Epic opening, because it's going to send a lot of people to visit the Orlando area. I think that they'll spend more time away from Disney than they used to, but they're still going to go to Disney. Maybe it's just a shorter trip. Maybe that trip they do 2 days in Disney parks instead of their normal 4 or 5. That's what I would think.
Yeah, because it is not wallet friendly for people, for families especially, to do both experiences, right? It's really hard to affordably stay with a halfway decent budget and do Disney and Universal. I found that to be the problem when we lived up north. We tried to do a trip where we did both, and it just didn't do it. And to be honest, it's probably the Disney park tickets that really prevent you from doing something like that. It's tough to do both.
Yeah. No, Josh, our Gatorland did not make the top 20. Sorry. But SeaWorld's on there. I've been to Great Adventure, number 20. That's in Jersey. I've been to Hershey Park when I was a little kid. Man, going up the list, not many others. SeaWorld Orlando, Animal, obviously, um, and then all the others except for Disneyland.
Yeah, if I'm going down, I have done Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Universal Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios Florida, Disney's Animal Kingdom, SeaWorld Orlando. I have done. I've done Six Flags. Which one would be the New Jersey one? Number 20?
Great Adventure 20.
Yes, I have done that. And actually, we had done Hershey Park as well.
Hmm.
Tammy and I could have done Cedar Point. We have made some trips to Ohio in the past. There was a park we did, but it's not on there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
we put a decent dent in that list.
Jennifer's never been to Universal.
What?
Always chose Disney. I always choose Disney. How about that? Wow. So we had the updated scene in Peter Pan. You were able to see that on Saturday. And then they did also note that it will be going to the Peter Pan in Disneyland. They'll be getting that same update.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was just announced. I feel like that was today, if I remember correctly. So what did you think of the scene?
I loved it. And the characters just seemed bigger, maybe because they're standing up. But I loved it. It's nice. It's fresh. They're dancing. Probably ritual dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's I agree. It's pretty cool. I like it. And I forgot what they were roasting over there. Is it fish? They cooking fish over the fire?
Is that what it is?
Might be.
So. Yeah, so they'll be getting that update. Inside Out 2 was released on digital yesterday, if I remember correctly, and it'll be on Blu-ray on September 10th.
It's funny the process that happens now, right? In the day, it would be from theaters to VHS or to DVD, then to just Blu-ray. Now there's this whole process I'm seeing where it'll be released on digital or Blu-ray if you want it. If you want to go old school Blu-ray, and then it will be released, I'm sure, on Disney Plus for streaming. Free, air quotes.
Yeah.
Interesting how that process goes now.
Yeah. So I'm sure make a lot of money on Blu-ray and digital.
Yeah, you gotta collect that money right there before it hits Disney Plus for regular, monthly payment streaming content.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But that's the way that goes now. I really haven't rented a movie for, when it's out on digital or purchased it, because having our AMC A-list, we're seeing every movie we want to see. We really don't miss.
Right.
So we're not needing to do that. I also found this too. I don't know if you're like this, or chat can chime in, or if you're listening later on the replay, definitely comment and always comment on, even if you're in here right now, wait for it to end, comment. It really does help. So what I was going to say is, how many of you, this is me, I used to watch my favorite movies when I was younger. I could watch them over and over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I probably watched Empire Strikes Back somewhere between 50 to 100 times, if not more, which is why I know it line for line. And but I could watch movies over and over again. Even when they were in the process of the beginning of Blu-ray, I would buy movies and I would watch them again. I'd say it's probably since we moved here. I don't know why. Maybe we're just busier with our lives and spending more time in Disney. Whatever it is, I don't have much of a desire to watch a movie a second time. And I feel like there's something wrong with me as a movie lover. But I don't. Like, I love The Last Deadpool. I mean, some genres, you might go back and, the new Deadpool's coming out. Let me go back and watch the others. But besides something like that, like as much as I loved Inside Out 2, I might not see it again, but I'll appreciate it and tell you how great it is. How about you?
I I don't know. I think I'm kind of the opposite. If there's a movie, especially if it's a Sunday, and it's one of those like Fifth Element. Fifth Element could just be on. I could just be scrolling through, and Fifth Element's on. I'm gonna sit down and watch it. I've got some well, it's funny I said Fifth Element because another one of my if it's on and it's late night and there's nothing on, I'll put it on in the background. The Last Boy Scout. Did you ever see that one?
I may have even seen that in the movies.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I like those old buddy cop 90s comedies, so I tend to throw those on. So I'll watch something a couple times. Of course, having Finley, you get used to watching animated movies over and over. We had never seen Brave, and when we saw Brave, we watched it back to back because she wanted to see it again. So, yeah,
Kids are like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so I've been known to do that too here and there. Disney Dina wanted to know if I'm flipping through, is there something that I stop? You know what jumps out to me a lot is Forrest Gump. Maybe because that's one that tends to be on. If I'm flipping and Forrest Gump comes on, that's usually one I stop at.
Mm-hmm. Neil says,
if
Apollo 13 for him.
So occasionally, yeah, but I don't flip through normal channels normally. But
yeah,
I gave up flipping.
I like how we call it flipping. We're so old school. Like turning or roll the window down.
Yeah, we still say that, right? We don't. And I mean, what's the even word? What's the right term these days?
I don't know.
Bring the window down.
Yeah.
Hey Tammy, can you bring that window down?
Yeah, comfort movies. Jennifer L. Comfort.
Yes.
Movies. Yep.
Yes, we all have our comfort movies for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Next, this I want to say I just found out about this today. Lego Pixar Brick Tunes coming September 4th.
This is sick. Yes. Yes. I love the humor with these productions. When the Lego movie came out, I mean, that might be one of my top. It's hard to make me laugh, like belly laugh in a movie. And I think that one had me there. That was, the humor is great in these types of movies or shows. So I will be watching that for sure. Yeah,
this should be pretty good. And of course you can see Lightning McQueen, Coco, Brave, Finding Nemo, and Incredibles are represented. So this should be a lot of fun, I would bet.
You did the thing with Merida that everyone does for see, I just went blank, for Sleeping Beauty. You didn't call her by her name.
So
you called her Brave.
Actually,
what?
Rewind the tape. Talking about old school. I want you to rewind the tape. I called them all the movies except for Lightning McQueen. I called them Lightning McQueen, but the rest of them I called them by their movies. That was odd, but I actually caught it. But no, a lot of people do that. They do say they refer to her.
Notice they do that. You'll see kids in the park. They'll be like, "Mom, I want to go see Sleeping Beauty," and it's like, well, call her by her name. Like, yeah. You don't look at Belle and say, "I want to go see Beauty and the Beast," or I want to go meet Beauty.
Yeah.
Just an odd thing.
Yeah. Bluey is not a Disney property, but a Disney Plus property, quote unquote. They're gonna do a Bluey at a Build-A-Bear, so that'll be.
You could never get Jillian out of Build-A-Bear, man. We have some Build-A-Bears. Jacob has some too. He was really, really, really young. But that was something. That was an adventure. You ever take Finley to Build-A-Bear?
Yes, I want to say she has 2 of them, and I actually have one. I have a Ghostbusters Build-A-Bear.
I bet Catherine's made her own Build-A-Bears.
That'll be next. Now that she's got the new machine, that's probably what's coming.
Oh yeah, that should be able to whip up anything. Whip me up a vacation home down the road from Lawrence. We can go visit with the new.
Corey is beaten up about this one. Yeah, I could just.
You see my face. I couldn't even get through 3 episodes of this thing. I saw that I was into it in that third episode, and I'm not saying this for the pod. I'm not saying it for any kind of effect. I love Star Wars, and I hate the haters online. I hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. We'll put it that way. I don't hate anybody, but I really can't stand the keyboard warriors out there that want to complain about everything. We all know it. Whenever anything is announced, there's always people to oppose it. I don't care how great it is.
Yep.
Always people to oppose it. But with that said, I think episode 3 of The Acolyte was the worst episode of any Disney Star Wars series I've ever seen. It was bad.
You remember, man, we're just going all sorts of old school. You know the phrase "jump the shark," right?
Yes, that was Fonzie from Happy Days. When he jumped the shark, they figured they had nothing left to write about.
Yeah.
And so why not have Fonzie jump a shark? I
This
think Neil was the stunt double for that.
I feel like that episode 3 was the moment for this show, and I didn't see it. I have no idea. I'm just going
Really?
by the reviews that I've seen about episode 3. It was the one that said, "Nope, that's it. Can't do it anymore." And I would bet that they just tanked from there. You know, they don't put out the numbers, but I'm sure the ratings just absolutely tanked from there. So, no season 2 there.
You know, when you say that about the numbers, I wish as viewers and consumers we could see these numbers. I mean, you and I can go back and we can look at the numbers for this podcast. We can look at last Monday. We can look at 3 years from now. We can look at so many details that a lot of you all listening have. Like, it's like sitting down in the executive offices at CBS or Fox. Like, I can sit down and tell you everything about everything. More statistics than you can even think of. And this is just one thing I'll say. When we've seen it's that time of year where we have our political candidates making their run, right? Want to know what I noticed on one of the channels during one of the conventions? In the bottom left-hand corner, they had the numbers. They had it. They had how many people were watching.
Wow.
And I could watched the numbers go up and down by the thousands based on who was speaking. You know, they'll have a celebrity, then they'll have somebody else. And you could see the numbers fluctuate with that. I would love to have that option while you're watching or after you finish an episode of The Acolyte. You know, how many people watched it and how many people gave it a thumbs up. Like, that would be great.
I mean, we can see it right. Chat can see it right now. They know how many people are watching with them on whatever channel they're watching on, because we're on 3 channels right now. But they can at least see it for the channel that they're on. Yeah, I don't know. There used to be a website that used to put it out. I think it was TV by the Numbers, if I remember correctly. And I used to follow them just to see, because I'm just, you know, a numbers nerd like that. So, but yeah, nothing like that for streaming. And then I talked about this. This is some of the finds that Dr. Disney found at Kohl's. And the day that I saw this, I was like, Catherine, we got to go to Kohl's. I was like, no. For Finley needs school clothes and I need new clothes for work. But really, it would be to go check out the Halloween Disney merch. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Really cool. I like that Spider-Man on the bottom.
Yeah, I was looking at that right now. Really cool. And the Jack Skellington is nice.
Yeah.
The Mickey Pumpkin up there.
Yeah, so definitely some very cool stuff there at Kohl's. If I do get any, I will let you know. I believe that my D23 gift for this year is arriving tomorrow. So I will show that on next week's show as well.
Fun.
Yeah. So yeah, next week is going to be a Food and Wine preview. Since Food and Wine will start, you'll be at it that Thursday.
Man, within hours after finishing the podcast and previewing it, we will be there.
Yeah. So
and maybe I'll give my top picks of things that I will go after live the next morning.
Yep. Exactly. So that's what I was hoping. Like we'll go through, we'll see what they're offering, what kind of piques your interest, and then the following week we'll do a recap of D23 to kind of see, if it lived up to its taste, if your old favorite still
Oh, you mean Food and Wine?
food and wine. Yes, sorry. Um, so yeah, so we'll do a food and wine preview next week, and then a recap of it the week after.
I just thought of something. Can we do polls on here?
We can.
Maybe we could
Maybe.
do a poll where everybody watching live maybe we put up like 3 different dishes
Mm.
and they could vote on, whatever the winner is. I'll go try it the next morning.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So yeah, we'll get you guys interactive with the food and wine preview on Thursday. Are you rope dropping that?
Yes.
Oh boy. All right. That next Thursday. I'll tell work I'm working from home that day.
Absolutely. We need you home and we'll be rope dropping it. It's going to be a busy day for me. And I plan on, we'll probably stream from like 8:30-ish, 8:45 to, we'll see how the afternoon goes. Maybe 2, maybe 2:30. I still have to book. I'm going to book Behind the Seeds and I'm going to vlog that. So I'm going to go off the live and I'll vlog that. So
Okay.
got a little filming to do around property next week. I'll be there. Haven't figured out. I'm going to be at Disney a lot next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on Tuesdays. So no Mondays stream this coming week. It's going to be Tuesday nights, and I'm off. So I will probably go live at Magic Kingdom much earlier than 7. We'll see. I'm thinking somewhere between 2 and 3, maybe even, to go live then. So we'll do that. And if I go Wednesday, it's going to be to film a lot of content. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. It'll be just for filming and not to be live. And then Thursday, we'll be dropping it. I got to make sure I'm back home, though, Wednesday in time for you and the podcast. Yeah. And then Thursday, we'll be at, like I said, we'll be back at Food and Wine for the first time in a while. And we'll talk about the best way to navigate Food and Wine.
There you go.
Next. I've got something, a tool that I use that some of you may know. We'll talk about it next week and how to easily navigate. And once you have this tool, you'll never want to give it up.
There you go. Michelle, I found what I was looking for. It was the news slides there. So thank you for making sure I had what I needed. I appreciate that. So
Excellent.
Yeah, great show. Always love having Ashley on to talk about a very important topic. Had Elizabeth and Zach from NC Disneyana in the chat. And that was another great event. So we are looking forward to that already next year. And we got a lot of stuff coming up next week. Well, the next 2 weeks, really, on Living in Diz. Remember, if you're watching on Living in Diz or Park Bros, head over to the Diz Pod, subscribe there as we try to move the show over to its own channel and try and grow that. We want it to, eventually have where you can use the special emojis and really start to get its own life on that channel. So be sure to watch that. You've got another vlog tomorrow, right?
Yes, thank you. So tomorrow we have a vlog where Tammy and Jacob, and actually Alyssa and Neil are in it too, a little bit, where we went to the Polynesian and we tried 2 snacks over there. And we love the merch selections over there at the Polynesian. So we show you the coolest things we thought we could find over at the Polynesian, whether it was shirts, trinkets, mugs, things like that. And this is a funny vlog because if you watch the first 5 minutes, I think it's going to make you laugh because we have a really hard time deciding what is inside this cupcake. And just when you think the analysis is over, as we go around from person to person, it just goes on again. So it's a good vlog. We thank you to everybody. We're getting a lot of great feedback on the quality of our videos. I'm putting a lot of extra effort into it. Learned more tricks and ways to edit more like I want to be, more professional.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody is presenting vlogs to this level as we are. So hopefully it'll catch fire, and that part of the channel will continue to grow. It's nice to step back into, okay, Reliving in Diz. We step back. We're showing live streams from October 2019, and back then we were vlogging and live streaming. So it's nice to get that back and do some of that. It's a lot of fun, and we're like old pros. You know, we go in, we know what we're supposed to do, and we sit and we do it. I don't know. Maybe it would be good. Well, I've mentioned it for the live stream. You know, for everybody watching the live stream, if you all don't mind watching us make parts of a vlog at times, I'd love to share it with you. You know, if we're doing a review of certain foods and we want to include it separately in a vlog, but include you all, I'm down for that, because I think that you would, some of you may enjoy the actual making of it, because, and it's great to see the family evolve, and trust me, everyone's evolved in how we do the vlogs. And even Tammy the other day, in the past when you've done this, like she caught herself. She was like, she started a take and she's like, no, I want to do that again. And then she just paused, and then boom, she did it. You know, it's like true professionals. It's a lot of fun. Oh, Steve Bullock says, yes, please, Corey. Any update on the documentary? Thank you. We should make that a feature. So, but I don't have much to report from week to week. But spoke with the creator just last week, and I think that the progress has hit its fastest point so far. Like, I think it's really going now from the last time I talked with him. So definitely a fall release, which is okay with me. People are indoors more. People aren't outside enjoying, so we might get more eyes on it in the beginning. So as I know more, and always welcome to ask, everybody, I will let you know everything I know. And we will have we have the right to, we have the creative rights. So nothing will be in the documentary that we don't approve of, which is amazing. We have seen the first 7 minutes. We have made requests for the first 7 minutes, and they've all been taken care of. And he told me that it's even better now. So
nice.
Can't wait. It's expected to be 30 to 45 minutes long. Hopefully it'll be more on the 45 minute end. And I told him now, I said, we got more content coming with the vlog, so feel free to pull material from that as well. So that's where we are. Oh, Little Miss Disney loves reliving in Diz. Nice. Nice. I mean, I turned it on, and to see the kids so young is pretty cool.
Yeah, the one
Steve,
the one for Sunday is pretty good. I think it's Hollywood and Epcot, if I remember correctly. It's a two-parter. I think it's like 4 hours, and you're even on the Skyliner, if I remember correctly.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see. Yes. So if you haven't seen the vlog from yesterday, go back and see it. And you never know who's going to end up on the thumbnails. And I love the new thumbnail coming out. I don't think I was going to just pop it up on screen, but before we go, let me see right here. I'm working on it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to finalize it when we are done here. So what is this? Oh, I had a Disney thing pop up. Oh, here it is. Tammy has made the thumbnail today this time. See how this camera looks. Oh, there you go. Looks pretty good. So there you go. That's what we'll be reviewing a little bit of. So
that'll be tomorrow. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching tonight. Don't forget, this show is in 4K, so make sure that you have your settings turned all the way up whenever you watch the show. From now on, you should be in 4K. Sorry to those of you that have 4K TVs that have to see us in 4K.
Yes, I shaved for this one. Oh, yeah. Roderick says the vlog was really good yesterday. It was great to see Jillian come out of her shell. Yes, Jillian was amazing in that. Jillian just encapsulates the camera. So when I hit the record and I can see her feeling her vibe, I go with it, and it works for sure. Oh,
Nice.
Roderick loved the Starbucks drink. It looked really good. It was really good. I would get that a lot if they could make it. I should have asked them at Universal,
Yeah,
exactly what are these ingredients? Maybe next time we're there, we can pop in and say, do
Yep.
you remember? Did you make it? Do you know?
Yep.
And have them make it again.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. All right. We've said it all, done it all. Great show.
Great show. Thank you all for
And,
being here. We appreciate it.
We love you all. And once again, more and more content coming. There's more projects in the works, so we can unveil more stuff for all of you coming out, trying to think of some original things to do and some unoriginal, but we want to do it our way.
Yeah.
And it's a full Diz week, says Jennifer. And it's kind of a full Diz week every week now, right? I mean, a couple of vlogs,
Yep.
the Diz pod, a couple of live streams, Reliving Diz on Sunday. So I'm loving that. I'm loving that for sure. So thank you all, everyone, for, well, we're just a couple of bros talking Disney.
That's us.
And we'll see you next week.
As the show ends here, do me a favor, keep putting in chat whether you like when we're doing the live streams, the news and the weather. I just want to get a glimpse of how many people are enjoying that feature, because we want to continue to do it and maybe even expand it a little bit. So in chat as the show ends, just let us know if you were liking that. Other than that, we will see you tomorrow on the vlog. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.